This time on Roadkill, it's an all junkyard build with a big block in
the Super Samurai.
Steve Dulcich, ladies and gentlemen. Hidden Valley Auto Parts. Oh man.
Look at all the stuff.
This place is cool.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're gonna go here and get a Samurai.
Why?
Because they have a lot of really cool old vehicles.
I know, but the Samurai is just so cute.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I just keyed in on the Sammy.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to build it. I'm here with Steve Dulcich, and we've got our brand new Suzuki Samurai. You're probably wondering why, so am I. So let's review a little bit. A few weeks ago, we were shooting one of our other shows here at this junkyard. It's called Junkyard Gold. It's where Steve Magnate walks around and looks at cool stuff. And there's all these great American classics here, but they're all basically just parts cars. They're all pretty far gone. But when I eyeballed the Samurai, I can't even tell you why. I was like, that's awesome. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. I want a Samurai, let's V8 swap it. And so Dulcich came out a couple weeks ago and did a little bit of like a pre-run here and got a 318 Mopar running.
Oh, I thought I was a hero because I did get a 318 to run without a carburetor, no less. Yeah, that was running. Well, that's on fire.
It doesn't seem to have that much cachet to have a 318 and a Samurai. I kind of want a big block. So the first step is we're gonna get a tape measure and go measure some engines, measure the engine compartment, and figure out what we're gonna do to get this thing on the road in the next 5 days. So let's see. Down here at the motor mounts, we got 20 inches basically.
Okay.
And up here, I mean, we got to account for manifolds.
Honestly, I think you're kind of wasting your time here.
Why?
That tape measure, you should put that away, put that back in the truck, and just get whatever engine you want and start plopping.
Really?
Yeah. I saw a 440 out front that was already pulled out of a van.
Let's go get our motor.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, there's so many good parts here, but the vehicles are kind of shot.
Yeah.
I eyeballed this 440 Mopar right here.
Yeah, it's kind of like a motorhome 440.
That's what it is, 77 Dodge Van 440.
$750.
You know, it's inconveniently priced, but it is very conveniently located. We don't have to pull anything out of a vehicle.
Yeah, and I also saw the transmission that goes with it in the storage shed. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
The 440 is really good.
Okay.
Let's find the transmission. Look at all the old cans up in the rafters right here.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the transes, though?
Right this way?
Oh, there's that big block torque flight. Oh, it says it right on it, 77 B300 440. That came off the 440.
Boom, we have a power unit. All you have to do is mate the two, and we're done.
I think we should swing the engine in without the transmission attached just to get an eyeball for it.
Oh, definitely.
And then blaze everything out to fit the transmission.
I like the way you're thinking.
Oh man, this is gonna be good.
Do you think there could be a scorpion inside?
No.
That's one thing I want to avoid is getting bitten by a scorpion.
There's no scorpions here.
No? I saw that one.
It wasn't a scorpion.
Oh, it wasn't?
No. Man, this is service.
I really like the sling arrangement.
It's not even noon and we're gonna have a big block Samurai. It's 11:30.
Stop.
Stop. There we go. Oh, it's press fit. Oh man, we're gonna make this happen though.
We're gonna have to cut the whole firewall out.
Totally. Yep.
Do you agree?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we know what to do.
Okay, yep.
The engine's gonna have to go about the whole foot back. because we need room for a radiator too.
Yeah, exactly. So let's clear out the whole interior so that we can start hacking from this side too. You ready to savage the Samurai?
I'm ready for you to show me Sawzall artistry.
We decided to go big and just cut out the whole firewall so that we can set the 440 way in there. Then we'll just fabricate a new firewall when we're done. It's easier. Boom!
Is unnecessary.
That thing is 440 ready.
But look how much more room we have for the 440 now. I think we could probably go with 440 with transmission at this point.
Really? Yeah, we could. We should.
Yeah.
Let's go get our transmission and attach it. Wow, it's a bummer I cut that brake line.
I know.
Hopefully it's only one and
That's
not like
gonna
all
be
of
the
them.
biggest nightmare of the whole install.
Let's go get the trans.
Yeah.
Looks like they surfed up our transmission.
I know.
All right, load that up and let's go.
What do you grab the other end?
What? Oh.
You want me to heave that thing up there by myself? Oh, this tow truck is so amazingly handy.
It is.
Yeah.
This is a shorter transmission than you would find in a passenger car. The extension housing is stubby, which is good for our 80-inch wheelbase on the Sammy, but it has a bolt-on companion flange here. We're gonna have to figure out how to get a drive shaft between this and the Suzuki Samurai rear end. That's probably gonna last 10 minutes. All right, I think it'll safely pull together now, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, manifold shopping. Oh, look at that. Center dump. Straight up. See, my thought is that the pattern is the same, upside down or right side up. So I just want to get some manifolds, turn them upside down, and go straight up with a pipe, done. I lost Steve, but I got us a starter and a couple of center dump exhaust manifolds. Let's see if my idea here is even gonna work. My plan is, oh, it's not gonna work. Can't put them upside down because they're gonna hit the spark plugs. Oh, that's a serious bummer with them having to point down instead of up. Oh well, live and learn. Okay, what I want to do is get the manifolds and the starter on the 440 before we even begin to drop it in, just so we have all of our obstacles eyeballed out. So let's hook it up and drop it in.
Straight back. Lower some more. Lower. Okay, come out and take a look.
Oh, wow, we have a 440 Samurai.
We're getting pretty close.
We're at the point of fiddling with the tiny details like fuel pump hitting, brake lines hitting, and ultimately we went and got a different exhaust manifold instead of the center dump one. This one dumps back here, which we think is gonna help us more. But if you look right through the floor, you can see that the front axle of the Samurai is really close to our oil pan. We're gonna have to push the engine over and back in order to get it clear of that front axle right there.
I think that's it.
We finally got the engine in position. It's way further back than I was really hoping for aesthetically and fabrication-wise, but it's clearing the front axle. I think we got the drive shaft angle where it's gonna work. It's gonna be a big job building a firewall in there.
On the bright side, the 440's in.
Yeah, the 440's in position. So now we can start fabricating motor mounts and transcross member. This roof bar off the other Samurai is about to become a transmission cross member. Fabrication in the field. Now I'm just gonna weld that up, and then this thing fits perfectly frame rail to frame rail.
So these are gonna be my frame brackets. I'm gonna reverse these, cut them at an angle, weld them on the frame, and they're gonna become our new frame brackets. It's not exactly the nicest way to do it, but it's the quickest.
We have the engine fully mounted now, and so we're gonna be able to lose the tow truck. I'm gonna let the cable down, pull out. Ready?
Yeah, drop it. Okay, you're clear.
I'm clear. Now it's official. The engine is fully installed, welded in on mounts, trans-cross member done. It's set way further back than I was hoping for, but we're clear of the front axle. And now all we have left to do is absolutely everything that it takes to make it run and drive.
Well, we're gonna have to relocate the pedals for the car, both the gas pedal and the brake, but we don't need a clutch pedal any longer. So I'm just gonna cut that off because that's gonna allow us to scoot the whole pedal assembly off to the left.
The pedal box is gonna be really tight in here and really hot because it's right next to the exhaust manifold. We're gonna have to get some of that like heat shield stuff.
One of the things I was really excited about was this thermoquad. Our 440 came factory equipped with one, but I brought this, a really good thermoquad. So the nice thing about thermoquads is you could take one off and it's immediately replaceable by another. Interchangeability is really good.
Working out the steering column, trying to figure out how to not butcher it, how to make it actually safe. You can see how I made these column drop brackets right here. I found some tubing that was like a Cadillac like inner fender support. Look how perfectly that steering works. The only downside is that it's a little close to the door. Yeah, 2 fingers, but that's what you get when you got your 440. I mean, you can't have it all.
For me, one of the toughest parts of this whole project so far has been the accessory drive, because there was no big block Mopar in the whole yard that had all the pulleys, brackets, and stuff to mount. And I must have dug through the dirt for about half a dozen of these water pump pulleys until I found one that works. But basically, I think it's all done. I'm pretty happy. What do you think, Freiberger?
That's butchered.
Yeah, it was pretty fine butchery though, right?
It's detracting from the rest of the vehicle for me.
Do you have any paint? I can give it the paint octopus treatment. It's a Super Samurai.
I'm gonna start building the whole engine cover thing, and I'm just telling you now, it is gonna be so Frankenstein and boogered together, it's ridiculous. I had to go roaming around in the dark in the yard to find this piece of sheet metal. It's like a cabinet door or something like that. See, there's my template where I said I'm gonna do this. So now I have to duplicate it here. That's about the level you're gonna see here for the rest of the time.
I was able to scalp the whole harness I need. Plugs into the control unit. The ballast resistor plug's broken, but I've got my charge wire all out of the yard.
All right, we've about had it for the night. We got quite a bit done today, but not enough. Tomorrow we're gonna have to really crank it up.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the motor mounts done, we got the trans cross member done, you got the accessory drive done, but
Yeah.
tomorrow, you'll at least make it run, right?
Oh, the wiring's all figured out.
Groundhog Day, working on 440 Samurai in the junkyard. We gotta make it happen today, Dolchek.
I'll put the filter on.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll make the whole firewall.
While you're putting the oil filter on?
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately I gotta fire up the generator now, so it's gonna get loud.
Man, I feel great this morning. I got a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Voltage regulator here, ECU, ballast resistor. I think we're gonna have this thing running in no time flat.
Okay, Dolchek, what do you think so far?
Oh, it's looking great. I'm hooking up the ignition switch and the starter button, and the starter button is going to bypass the ballast resistor, so I've got a full 12 volts to the ECU. The only problem here is the limited wire. We had some red wire in the truck, so every wire is red. It's kind of, you don't want to do. It makes troubleshooting a real pain, but it's what we have.
Now comes the really difficult part, which is enclosing the sides, because it's going to be all kinds of crazy compound shapes and stuff. Once again, with no sheet metal brake, I end up with sloppy bends like this one right here, bent over the back of hairy toe with a hammer.
I'm probably going overboard with the detail, but I've actually mounted the bezel here above the firewall and got gauges going in. Temperature gauge is done, got the oil pressure next.
Freiberger, you look like you're wrecked.
Yeah.
Your face is totally burnt up and covered with grinding debris.
Yours isn't.
Oh. That's because I was just tinkering around with wiring.
But look at the doghouse.
Whoa. See, I don't think I could have done that good of a job.
What do you got?
I think I'm done with the wiring. I've already hooked up the battery and nothing caught fire.
Let's see if it runs. That's spark.
You gotta be freaking kidding me!
We have light!
Whoa!
I knew it would fire up instantly. It's got a thermoquad.
Honestly thought there was almost no possibility that all those used parts would work. And, I mean, you got the magnetic pickup could be junk, that ECU could be junk,
the ballast resistor could be junk. Yeah. Do it again, see if you have oil pressure.
Okay. It went up to 25.
Great. Oh man, now it's official. Now we have a 440 Samurai.
Man, isn't that great?
Yep.
I can't believe it just worked the first try.
Good work, Dulcich. Is it time to go to the list?
Yeah.
Finish doghouse, throttle, radiator.
You really don't have to buy much when you're working in this environment.
No, the Junkyard just keeps giving. Well, that was the moment that made it seem like this might actually happen. It seems like our 440 runs good enough to at least drive this thing out of the yard. We need to get the drive shaft and stuff. I'm thinking about victory, and this thing runs, and I've got half the engine doghouse done. I'm gonna finish up the other half, and then we've got the list. You can see how ugly that is, but we're in good shape.
Boy, I felt pretty lazy. I mean, I was just fiddling with a little wiring and fuel pumps and spark plugs, stuff like that. Really easy stuff. You might even do it on a weekend tuning your own car. Meanwhile, Freiberger's in there building a doghouse, cutting, grinding, welding, and he looks like hell. But I got massive amounts of glory. I mean, the engine fired up, and I got to take credit because basically I got it running.
Full check.
Yeah. You got it.
Drive shaft.
Wow, look at that. It's so cute and small.
Look at that weeny little U-joint.
Oh,
this
man.
thing's gonna explode immediately.
It's beefier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Well, we need bolts and a belt and a bunch of other stuff. You look pretty wrecked.
I know. Okay, well, I guess that's officially a wrap for the night. It runs.
I know, I'm super stoked about that.
Ready for tomorrow?
And we'll buy the parts.
You know what? I might actually have a beer.
Beer?
Or 8.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah. What'd you get there? Chrome.
Chrome air cleaner.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to spice it up a little bit.
I didn't even know we were gonna have an air cleaner.
We wouldn't want to ingest dirt in our 440. Perfect fit, Freiberger.
Oh, wow. Well, since we don't completely want to die in the Samurai, or at least we don't want to burn our legs while dying in the Samurai, we got some heat reflective material that's gonna go on the inside of the doghouse.
Been mentioning scorpions a lot here, and you know, it's a pretty good gag. The scorpion thing's funny, but
It's a fact.
It's no joke. This place is freaking crawling with them, and they're big, nasty, mean-looking scorpions, and they walk with their tails up in the air like they're ready to sting. So I'm gonna crawl under here to hook up this drive shaft, and I'll be sleeping with some of these angry scorpions. Oh man, there's just a problem right here because if you turn this drive shaft, it stops turning because the U-joint yoke binds with the transmission yoke.
Standard 4x4 problem. It's because we need a centered diff.
It's really tight on the retaining strap side too, but it does clear.
Yeah. Let's ignore it for now, do everything else, and if we have time, we'll put a better rear end in the thing and center it.
And then if we don't have time?
Then we grind that one and just drive carefully.
No.
Finally, a job that isn't making this. I'm hanging the throttle pedal. So you can see the brake pedal is like absurdly higher than the gas pedal, but the problem is if you put the gas pedal way up here, you often end up having to lift your foot to do it, whereas you really want to have a heel rest, especially when you have no leg room in an awkward driving position. This thing is going to be uncomfortable, to say the least. I know, the doghouse is done except for having to close off the firewall right there. So I'm getting back to work.
Rather than scrounging around the junkyard trying to find something that'll work, I ended up getting this Flexolite fan. This is ready to drop in and the radiator cooling system will be done. Well, I've got these new calipers, but Suzuki calipers are maybe a little more complex than they need to be. The real problem here is we're having difficulty sourcing metric brake lines and a T so we can plumb all this mess together. Hopefully tomorrow we'll come up with something.
We got a lot done today, but there was one extreme kick in the shorts. The drive shaft in the back has a real problem where the transmission's here and the rear end is offset heavily to the right, and it's so extreme that a U-joint is binding. But we will make this thing move under its own power, one way or another. Mark my words. Ah, the sun rises over Hidden Valley Auto Parts. It's so tranquil. So we need to shop now for fuel system, seats, brake line, right?
Yeah. Brake line? Oh, somebody has cut the brake lines.
So that's junk.
The key car, to me, was always an ugly car.
Here we go. Steve, you're set.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I was really hoping to find a Mitsubishi Mighty Max.
You're set.
Am I?
Make it happen.
All right. Yeah, Mighty Max.
All right, you want to harvest that and I'll keep looking for seats?
Look at all these brake lines, they're perfect.
That seems workable.
Yeah.
Who knew that the Celica had the ultimate seat design? Here, wait, let me see what it'll be like in the Samurai. Oh man, this thing's totally comfortable. All right, I'm gonna take this one back, make sure it fits. Dude, the Celica just gave it up.
Oh, let me see.
Not even a fight. Celica seat is gonna work. Dude.
Yeah, isn't it great?
There's absolutely no issue.
No.
Oh, and look at this.
Oh.
Look.
It's much better than I anticipated.
This is no problem. I could drive this thing cross country.
Oh, we will.
If it ever runs.
I've got the braking system plumbed to my satisfaction, using pretty much salvaged brake lines and stuff like that. I'm going to rely on old-fashioned gravity bleeding and letting gravity do the work. As this settles down and the fluid makes its way to the caliper, it'll push every bit of air out, and I'll simply have to shut the caliper and the system will be bled perfectly. Gravity bleeding. Old school.
All right, woo, woo!
Oh yeah,
The train knows. Seats, done. Brakes, done. Wow, this is pretty good. Okay,
Drive shaft?
we have to solve the drive shaft nightmare one way or another. I'm getting pumped, we're close.
I know, I can't wait to drive this thing.
Man, did you check the lap of luxury on these
Oh,
seats?
yeah,
Hop
I
in,
have.
man. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Man, look at that.
Oh.
It's really good.
You know, and you never need a hotel room with this because You could just snooze in here. Here's a little tech tip for you guys. A lot of times it's really hard to slip a undersized hose on an oversized barb. Some spray on sunblock acts as a great temporary lubricant. And with that, hose clamp in, watch the way this slides right on. Sunblock. Try it.
And we're nearing the end. I'm working on the transcooler. Steve's trying to fix our drive shaft, which is unfixable. We need to find a radiator cap and put the wheels and tires on. We're firing this thing up and we're gonna try it.
One of the last problems we have to solve here is the U-joint cross is actually binding on the yoke because of the extreme drive shaft angle. I'm gonna use this carbide bit. In a little bit of time, I should be able to gain the clearance we need. Hopefully we'll take this thing for a ride pretty soon. I've got this drive shaft perfected.
Man, this is a glorious moment. Ready? Oh, it's already crossed off. Drive shaft handled.
Yeah. I really wanted to put a Samurai tank in the Sammy, but I think we're pretty much out of time, out of fuel tank options, so we're gonna go with the old standby jerry can mounted in the front grill area.
Are you ready for wheels and tires?
That might make me feel better.
Check this out.
Whoa.
I know. We're sponsored by Tire Rack now, which is super cool because we can get tires like instantly. Look at that.
Let me take a
Hot
quick
rod.
look. Oh yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Whoa. Wow. This
Wow.
thing is way better than I thought it was gonna be.
How close is that front pinion to the oil pan is my big thing.
Do I have to?
Oh!
What?
It's touching it right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it gonna self-clearance?
No,
No?
it's fully on it.
No way.
Undrivable.
Ah.
Epic fail. So this is the thing that we've been fighting the entire time, which is moving the engine rearwards in order to clear the front axle. And sure enough, when we put it down and got all the weight on the suspension and everything, the absolute predictable thing happened. The front pinion is on the oil pan and like in a show-stopping way. I mean, not gonna happen. But I have a solution, which is, this is a four-wheel drive front axle with freewheeling hubs and everything. We're gonna be able to take it apart, pull the axles out of it, and pull the whole center section out of the axle and drive around with nothing but just the front axle in the car. Okie dokie. Should be good to go.
Everything was easy to take apart.
Yeah.
You could run into a real headache trying to do that job.
Yep. All right, we did that. Ready to drive this pooch? It's moving! Yeah. Wow, it's got 60 pounds of oil pressure. Oh, wow. Oh, man.
Oh!
That was fire.
Yeah.
You better crank it out. There we go. You can let it warm up some, but we built a 440 Samurai! Woohoo! Oh, wow! Wow! Cool! It passed by us out the vent!
I'm glad that you got the firewall in here, or we would be barbecued by now.
I don't feel the drive shaft being weird, do you?
No! Drive shaft seems fine.
Man, this Sammy's awesome!
I know!
Oh, nice!
There we go. That's some RPM.
Runs great!
I know!
We're driving a 440 Samurai! We made this happen! This is a major victory! All right!
This thing is nothing less than
Oh.
fantastic.
That was awesome!
How come it's so great?
It's just fantastic because we built it with our own 4 hands. I mean, it took 5 days, but we did it all with Junkyard parts.
Win! Yeah.
Beer!
That is just awesome.
Oh, wow. Feels good.
Really relaxing inside the Sammy.
It's pretty loud. What? What? I can't hear you. I know. We better do some action on dirt before we try to do burnouts and break the rear end. Yeah. Whoa, the Samurai's awesome. Wow, it's pretty fun. Yeah. I think we're gonna need to fix that.
Oh.
So why is it idling at 10,000 RPM?
The thermoquad strangely seems a little unstable. They're usually so reliable.
So we're out here blasting the Samurai around in the desert, and it's interesting because the brakes are a little bit sketchy.
A little?
It has a lot of power, and it's sticking like at wide open throttle. So Dulcich is working on fixing that.
Oh, I'm gonna have that fixed in no time flat here.
Okay.
Okay, try it now.
Ready for more Samurai adventure?
Yeah.
Wide open, flooding.
I smell gas, turn it off.
Yeah, that's a lot of gas.
My eyes are watering.
Me too, it's flooding bad.
Yeah,
Okay, what did you do to the thermal quad?
I don't know. There might have been some debris in the fuel system and it ended up getting in the needle and seat. The Super Sammy was running great, and then all at once it just started flooding like crazy. So I've been fiddling with the thermoquad carburetor. I'm gonna take it off, I'm gonna open it up. I might be able to fix it. We'll see. That's it right there. The float is actually broken. That will stop any thermoquad. But we have an extra thermoquad. We can swap the float out. We'll be back in business.
We ran back to the junkyard and got the thermal quad that was on the 440 when we first got it. So we're gonna take the float out of the old thermal quad and put it in the Dulcich thermal quad.
Well, I think I've got this thermoquad fixed. I'm just gonna plop it down on our 440 and the Samurai will spring into action once again. That's a lot better. The thermoquad runs great.
Yeah, it does now. Whoa, that was a good one.
Yeah. Pretty good Brodies.
How to be honest.
We've got major problems.
We have a fire! 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 Still burning. Quick.
Battery disconnect. It's electrical.
Yeah. The issue here is all day we've been fighting with this $1.50 toggle switch that would never work right, and it was shutting on, shutting off, causing running problems and everything, and now it caught us on fire. And it's overheating because the fan didn't work.
Well,
That might be near the end of the Super Sammy adventure. Well, overall, I think the Super Sammy experiment was a win, but there are some issues that we have to work out, like that Junkyard radiator.
yeah, that doesn't cool.
Completely clogged. That fan,
No airflow.
yeah.
The wiring.
The wiring, we did
Burned
it
up.
quick and easy, didn't use fuses, and it bit us because we had a junk switch that ended up causing a fire. We know that the rear end is probably gonna blow up, or the drive shaft. So the last thing we gotta do is scientifically discover what the weak link is. Will it be the axle shafts? Will it be the ring gear?
Drive
Will
shaft?
it be the drive shaft? We find out right now, yeah?
How do you want to test it?
Oh, how do you think?
Ready to go, boys? Let's hit it!
All right.
445, go!
The Super Sammy might be a better on-road car than off-road. Oh, for sure. Wow! And we're done.
Wow!
Sammy wins. So there's the story of the 440 Samurai. And I know, you gotta ask yourself, why did these guys bother? Well, basically, because we've always wanted to go to a junkyard and build a vehicle using nothing but parts out of the yard. And essentially, we pulled that off.
Win! Yeah!
The problem is, the radiator that we got out of the yard is clogged solid, and this thing overheats bad. And if you ever see the 440 Samurai again, the bad news is, it has got to lose the thermal quad. But you know what? The thing runs and drives better than you would think. It's got more legroom than people guessed with that giant doghouse in there. It actually does burnouts and the rear end didn't explode, and it's a miracle the drive shaft didn't fall out of it. So, it's all win. When it comes down to it, nothing can match the glory of the Big Block Samurai. Support companies that support Roadkill. Buy your speed parts at jegs.com.